St Patrick's Day is famous the world over, but there's more to Ireland's patron saint than a day's holiday. I'm in County Down to learn more about him.
Downpatrick is a town that is steeped in history. In fact, it's one of the oldest towns in Ireland, and it's believed to be the burial place of St Patrick himself, right here at Down Cathedral.
Now the cathedral has become the final destination on a new pilgrimage dedicated to St Patrick.
Hi, nice to meet you. How are you doing?
My guide for this journey is Martina Purdy, who helped set up this new walking route.
So this is the St Patrick Centre. So you see here we have our different passports. So when the pilgrims come, this is their first stop, the St Patrick Centre, and they always get a stamp.
I've got my first stamp.
The pilgrimage is made up of a variety of journeys of different lengths, which people can choose to complete at their own pace. Today, Martina is showing me the highlights from one of the shorter 6-mile routes.
I think, Martina, I have a lot to learn about St Patrick today.
Well, you're in the right place.
Let's
You will
go.
go home an expert.
Armed with my booklet, I'm ready to start my pilgrimage. And while I don't need an actual passport to get here, my impression of these types of walks has always been in places in slightly more exotic locations.
You know, when I think about a Camino or a pilgrimage, it's not what I envisage. Why was there a need for one here?
People really love the outdoors. They're interested in Patrick and heritage, and everybody loves beauty, and there's a lot of beauty here.
This 6-mile pilgrim walk visits all the important sites in Patrick's story through the most beautiful countryside. And one of the first stops on our route is Saul.
It's really hard to describe how stunning this is. I mean, it is beautiful.
So it's a place where Patrick founded his first church.
You do get a sense of that, it being holy ground here.
There's a legend that if you die on this mountain, you go straight to heaven. So of course people retire here.
I can see why.
This route has an even deeper meaning for Martina, a former BBC political correspondent. She left journalism to become a nun, but unfortunately had to leave her convent after it became too small to sustain.
The easiest thing I have ever done is to walk out of the BBC and into the convent. And on my spiritual journey, I thought that was going to be the hardest part. The hard part was leaving the convent. I had to hand back my habit, my ring, my cross, and it was a kind of death, and then I had to start again.
That must have been such a test of your faith.
I had to trust that the Lord would provide a place for me. We got into the car with what possessions we had, and we drove to Downpatrick. And it was only in looking back 6 months in, and how the Lord, brought Patrick into our lives in a very deep way, that I could see this was part of God's plan.
The next stage is a long hike uphill to Slieve Patrick, where there's the largest monument to St Patrick in the world. There may not be many other pilgrims here today, but we're certainly not alone.
Yes, we've been beaten to it. It's pretty foggy and miserable today, but I can imagine on a good day just what this looks like.
And indeed, on a clear day, there are stunning views of the surrounding countryside, Strangford Lough and even the Mull of Kintyre. But by our next stop along our pilgrimage, it looks like our luck has changed.
So we're getting all seasons here. The sun is shining.
This is Inch Abbey, where it's thought that one of the monks may have written the legend of St Patrick banishing snakes from Ireland, representing the ousting of evil from the island. While the stops along the way have been eye-opening, the walk itself adds a real sense of serenity to the experience.
Do you think that that's part of the appeal for a lot of people, wanting to get away from life, to slow down a little bit?
Sometimes people just like to go and on their own and look at the beauty of the countryside, and that really is the first stage of wisdom or faith, is to really soak in the beauty and the wonder around us.
We finish our journey back where we started at Down Cathedral at St Patrick's burial site.
So here we are, Journey's End.
And this is what it's all about for some people, isn't it?
This is it. This is a very unassuming grave for one of the most famous people in the world. His name is etched in here, and so this boulder has been here about a century.
What do you think people leave this journey coming away with? What do they get out of this?
I think by the time they get here, they have a sense of who Patrick is. They have a greater sense of maybe where they are in their own journey in life. All pilgrimage is a journey with a purpose.
So we've completed our journey. I get the final stamper in my little book at St. Patrick's grave. And I'm just going to leave you with what it does say here in the book. The final paragraph reads, "Take time to pray and be thankful, and leave whatever burden you carry on the journey of life, leave it at this holy place, and journey on with the spirit of Patrick in faith, hope and love."
Holly, that was lovely.